everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about my LAMDA regional audition in Manchester. I've got my notes here, so bear with me. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about how you apply to LAMDA. It's very straightforward. You don't have to do it through UCAS like you do with other places and institutions because it's technically not a university, it's a drama school, so you don't have to go through UCAS. The online process is very simple. It's asking you very basic information like, your age, your, education and all that jazz. And then you just wait for your audition date, which they send to you via email. So that's okay. So make sure you check your emails or you might be in trouble. Okay. They gave you my date, which I think was the 16th of January, or it could have been the 18th, but anyway. And it was for Manchester, which is a little bit far for me, but it was like the second closest one, like the second closest regional place they had for where I live. So it was okay. And it was at the Chetham's School of Music, which I actually found it really difficult to find. I even printed out like this Google Maps thing of it, and like a 20-minute walk took me like 40 minutes. It was a bit embarrassing, but if you've got a good sense of direction, you should be okay. So long as like you're not like me, you will be fine. And basically, you go into the building. Well, there's this guy at the gate, the security guy, and I felt so awkward because like I assumed that there'd be signs outside or something to direct you, but there was like nothing. So I was like, I just like knocked on the window and was like, is this where the auditions are? And he was like, yeah. And then just like walked in, and then there were signs inside the building going like, follow this way for the LAMDA auditions. So I was like, okay, I'll follow this way. And then there was this sign that was like, wait here. So I waited there, and apparently I wasn't meant to wait there. I was meant to go in the room. The sign told me to wait there. Maybe I'm just stupid. But anyway, you go into the building, and there's an ex-student there in this room, and you can ask them any questions. They ask you questions like what you're performing, and the people there are they are so nice. I mean, I had this horrible misconception that everyone would be so like competitive, but they're not. Everyone just wants to know what you're doing and how you are, and it's a nice atmosphere. It's a nice atmosphere. They were a little bit behind, like 10 minutes, so I wasn't complaining. It gave me enough time to chill, sort myself out really. And essentially I was wearing, like on the website they say like loose, like comfortable clothing, I believe. I pretty much wore this, I think, if I remember correctly. And, it was pretty standard. I had black Converse on as well. So long as, you can move a little bit. With LAMDA, they don't ask you to do like a workshop or anything like that. So you don't have to do anything too strenuous, obviously depending on what your monologues are. So bear that in mind when you're picking out your clothes, but this was pretty much standard for most people there. Just, loose, comfortable clothing that you can move in is essential, basically. And then the student, transports you to the different, areas. So when one student comes out, you'll be like, all right, you're next. So you go in, and there are two judges there. There's a table there, and there's a chair in front of the table, and you sit down, and they just talk to you about, what you're doing, ask you which one you're going to do first, and then they wish you luck. I mean, again, I had a horrible misconception that they were just going to sit there and glare at me, but they were super nice. They were taking notes basically, and just looking at me, and it wasn't as bad as I assumed. I think you'll be really surprised at how nice they are there. And then you leave that room, they say thanks for coming, blah blah blah. You put the chair back because they told you to move it before, I don't know. And then you go out into the waiting area, and then the ex-student takes you in to the interview. And I found the interview harder than the audition. I pretty much had no idea what the interview would entail. They do say it's, you know, very casual and nice and everything, and it was it was led by two people on the like admission team, and they were super nice. And they ask you questions like, why did you choose the monologues, and have you got any like questions about the place? They also have they ask you about where else you applying, and they're just super nice. But I feel like that didn't go as well for me. I felt like the monologues did go better for me, and that it really didn't take long. I just left, just went away, waited for my train for like 2 hours. It was painful. And basically they give you 2 weeks to get back to you, but they got back to me in like 3 days with a lovely rejection, so yay. Not gonna lie, I was disappointed, but this industry is highly competitive, and you can't give up after one rejection. Basically, you just got to keep moving forward. You can't dwell on a rejection because it really doesn't get you anywhere. So I was like, yeah, but then you gotta move on. I have other auditions to go to. I've just been to my Manchester audition, and I've got some other ones going on soon. So yeah, they just sent me a very basic email. I think they just send it to everyone who they reject. Something like, thank you for coming to our audition. There's been a lot of people auditioning this year, and we are sorry to reject you. We can't give you feedback. Bye. Basically. But all in all, I'm still happy that I went, because it was my first audition, and it was so nice, and it did give me confidence when I went to my Manchester Met audition, because that one was just, LAMDA was so much nicer than I thought they would be. So all in all, great experience. That's all I've really got to say about LAMDA. Just have fun, enjoy the moments that you have there, and don't stress out too much, because it's not worth stressing out about. Okay? And like, that one is highly competitive, so if you don't get in, there's always the next year and the years after that. Okay, so if you've got any questions, feel free to message me if anyone actually watches this video. And that's all I've really got to say. Stay tuned for my Manchester Met one and my Rose Bruford and any others I've got coming up. So, bye!